Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing? Sorry, we had an early glitch on the system. I hope everybody is doing great. This is 9 p.m. in India. My name is Vikas. I'm the founder of InstaWP. And I would like to welcome everybody who is on the live stream. I see we have almost 50 people combined on all the platform. Let's wait for a couple of more minutes. Hey, Mark. Hey, Larry. Hey, Alexander, is that correct pronunciation? Hey, Greg, howdy. How is everybody doing? It's very cold in India, not in the southern part of India, by the way. The north part is completely shattered by the cold. Um, hey, Suresh. Hey, Christine. Welcome, everybody, once again. Suresha, I think, Suresha, are you the same person from our WordCamp Bangalore? Hey, Riaz, WordCamp people all over. At Naira, nice to see you. Thanks for joining in. Hey, Joel, man, 0 degree Fahrenheit. Very cold. Gabriel, hey, Lucas. So let's get started. I guess we have a nice podium here. Man, we have JP from Norway. So I take my comments back about the cold. We are not that cold anymore. Uh, so I see people all over all from all over the world, and your problem actually go away. There are a lot of people much cold in much colder location. All right, so let's get started. Today, Larry from Canada. So today we are going to talk about how to build staging websites and then do sync between staging and production. We are going to use obviously InstaWP for doing that. So let me go ahead and share my screen real quickly. And I'm going to share my screen. So by the way, people from Facebook, I don't see your name. So I'm not being rude. I just see a Facebook user. So hello to everybody on Facebook. Let me know when you see my screen. I think it's already shared. If everybody is able to see this, I'm going to go ahead and start the slideshow. All right. Again, warm welcome to everybody. Let's get started. So today's topics are installing the InstaWP Connect plugin, obviously. So that is the holy grail of everything what we are going to learn and talk about today. Next, we are going to see what are the various staging options available through the plugin. We are also going to walk through the interface of InstaWP and the plugin itself so that you get familiarized with the interface. One of the main complaints which we get is we just build a product, right? We don't have a lot of documentation around it. And doing these webinars actually helps a lot, not just yourself. It helps us as well to get feedback. And then at the end, we are going to see two-way sync between staging and production and vice versa. And this is going to be a comparatively shorter video. Keep sending your questions on the live chat. I'm not going to look at it right now or throughout the demo. We'll pick up all the questions at the end of the presentation. And we have, as always, we have a nice surprise at the end of the presentation, a nice coupon code, which you can use to upgrade your account. All right, so the first thing first, how to install InstaWP Connect plugin, which can be used for staging, migration, two-way sync, and management. So it's kind of, as I said, a holy grail, a Swiss Army knife of all plugins. It's a lightweight, security-focused plugin. We don't have like a lot of heavy lifting on every page which you load on your website. and then you can connect unlimited websites on all plans. So this is going to be means you can just install it on all your website and forget about it. So let's get started and let's see what are the different staging options which we have. So we have like different modes: quick, full, custom mode. You can skip active themes, active plugins, and whatnot. You can exclude files and tables while creating a staging site. And we recently started support for local development environments. I think we released that support yesterday. So I'm going to cover the staging from production to live, live to staging right now. For this, I'm going to use Cloudways. So this is the production app which I have. So just remember that this is going to be on Cloudways as a live site. So the first step which I'm going to do is install the plugin from the repo. So I'm going to search for InstaWP. Excuse me for the spelling. I should know the spelling. All right. So the first hit is InstaWP Connect. Click on install and then install the plugin and activate it. So I think it's about less than an MB of size. The activation doesn't take a lot of time. All right, so go down on create staging. Obviously, so we do not support a couple of security and speed plugins. They interfere with us. So all you need to do is just deactivate before you do the staging build process. And next, you can start the process once again, and then you can reactivate them back once your staging is created. So let's connect our account. So click on InstaWP Connect. I'm assuming that you are logged into your InstaWP account, and for this demo, your free account will work fine. So that should be okay. So click on approve, and now the plugin and your production site should be connected to InstaWP. And it actually shows up. So let me go back to the dashboard and click on connects. So the site, as soon as the sites are connected, every site will show up as a connected site, quote unquote, and you can do basic management of the site. So I will come to the basic management real quick. That is not our focus for today, but I'm going to cover some of that aspect. For example, clearing a cache or auto log into the site and so on and so forth. So let's go back to our production site. Here you will say this is the welcome page of when you want to start a staging site. All right, so let's go ahead and create our first staging site. Here I'm going to create a full staging, or let's just choose a custom staging option and then see what are the options which we have. There are, I think, overall 6 options. You can just click on active plugins only. So it will ignore all the plugins which are deactivated and it will not copy them over, right? It ignores all the files of the plugins, not the database. The database will come in the next step. The next is active themes only. Excuse me, let me just close the door real quick. All right, that should reduce the noise a little bit. And then you can skip media folder. So this is very, very good if you just want to build a staging environment where the production site is like 50 GB, and then most of that is like media. So videos, images, and I will recommend to click on that. Skip large files, so it will automatically identify large files like more than, I think, 100 MB, and then skip them. You can skip log tables. So we know that a lot of plugins create log tables which do not need to be copied over. We will copy their schema, but we will not copy their data. So the advantage is it will be a faster process. This I will come at a later point. So let's just keep it off for now. Next step is you can actually see what all files are there in your system, and you can exclude some of them, right? And the next step would be to exclude databases. If you think there are some databases which you don't really need, and it will show the size of the table, and it will also show the number of rows in that table. So in this case, I'm going to skip, and as an example, a couple of files, for example, license, user.ini, and malcare. So let's just skip those. And you can specify a name, a custom name for your staging site, or you can keep it blank for auto-generated name. So let's go to the next step. And this is going to be a final step of the process. So it shows you what kind of staging you are creating, what are the options you selected, and what are the files you have skipped. So let's click on create staging. Yep, sorry. All right, so the staging process is ongoing. In the meantime, let me just go ahead. Yeah, and also you get a track migration link. So if you click over it, this is a publicly shareable link, and you can share with your client or with your teammate, whoever is interested on seeing this progress. And so these ticks will start to tick, and after a few seconds, you will see that the files are being copied over, and then the database will get copied over. And depending upon the size and the speed of your system and overall upload and download speed, it takes about like 15 seconds to almost a minute on smaller side. On larger side, it can take up to half an hour or an hour, right, depending upon how large is that site. We have seen success rate of 90% and above. We are continuously, for those who are following our updates, we are continuously increasing the stability of the platform overall. You know how hard is migration processes in WordPress ecosystem, because we need to take care of so many variables, right? So many things can go wrong. Every host is built different, right? Some people are using cPanel, some people are using a VPS, some are using Docker, some don't actually expose WP config. There are so many different kind of variations where things can really go wrong. So while this is happening, let's go and click on the Connects tab again. So in order to refresh it, I'm going to go back to templates and go back to Connects. And here you will see one more change, which is the staging site section is now 1. So let's click over it. You will also see the same progress going inside here. So here, the same tracking link can be opened up. And you can see the link already is created for the staging site. However, it will not work unless and until this entire process is complete. With the interest of time, already I have created a couple of staging sites for you. I'm going to look at the comments real quick so that I'm not missing out anything. All right. As I said, I will cover the comments at a later point in time. So once the staging process is complete, you will see, you will be able to log into the staging site. For now, I am going to leave it like that. And while that is being built, let's click on the connected site and let's see some of the connected features. All right, so when you click on the site itself, you will see basic information about the website. You will also be able to see the plugins which is installed on the website. So the top frame, you can ignore it for now because we suggest some plugins to install. And this is only shown to free users, I believe. I will check that. And the next is you will see all the plugins. And if there are any updates, you will see that. Slowly, we are going to add bulk updates, and you can update your plugins from here. All kind of cool things are going to be added very soon. If you click and open the themes, you will see all the themes which are now installed and activated. You will be able to see the staging sites which you have created. You can create multiple staging sites for your usage. You will also be able to run vulnerability scanner on the paid plan. This is a very cool option. If you think your site may be vulnerable or it might become vulnerable, you can always do a scanning. We do not do malware scan. We do vulnerability scan, which means that we check known vulnerable plugins versions against the list of we take the feed from WP scan as a feed, and you can see this server is healthy. So that was about it. And we also ship file manager, database editor, and logs viewer. But all of these are not available by default. You need to go to your WordPress site, click on manage, and you can enable these options as you wish. So because of security reasons, we have not enabled them by default, right? So let's say if you wanted to open the file manager, you just enable it, go back to your console and click on file manager. So it should open File Manager in a new tab, and then you can do file management. And as soon as you're done, all right, so there's some error. We'll get to know about it, but you get the idea, right? And then as soon as you're done, you can just switch it off. So it's that easy. Let's go back and let's check. So I think the files and database are now complete. And within few seconds, we should have our site ready to be used. And the same thing should be shown here as well in a moment. Yep. So let's open our site. And as you can notice, the URL is on InstaWP, right? And it will actually show up on your sites tab. So let's see the sites. And the same is shown here, privilege pigeon. All right. So all right, let me go to the privilege pigeon website, and you can actually do auto login right from here. So far we have covered how to install the plugin, what are the different options, and how to create a staging sign, right? And I have also shown as a bonus point what are the different connect manage options which we have. And now let's go deep inside into two-way sync, and now let's see how it works. So you might notice that the staging website also has our InstaWP Connect plugin by the look of this icon. In order to start the sync between this production side, between the staging side and the production side, you need to switch on the sync tab and go into the sync tab and switch on the start listening for changes toggle. So let's switch it on. And now you can see the red dot is now blinking. So which gives you the indication that the recording is on. And now you can start to sync. So let's go ahead and add a page or edit a page. So let's click on edit. Let's get rid of this and change the first paragraph. So this is a new post done, or this is a post change done on the staging environment. Let's update the post, go back to the dashboard, click on the red dot again. And under the sync tab, you will see that a page modified event was created. There is one more event created. Maybe internally it changed something. So next step would be to verify which is the site you are sending the events to. So it says the Cloudways website. Click on sync all. Here you will see that you can actually sync two events. You can add a message. So syncing sample page change. And here click on sync. So what it will do, it will pack everything together, encrypt it, and then push it to the destination website via InstaWP. And we do not store any kind of changes on our servers or any kind of data on our servers. It's straight away sent to the destination website. So let's open the destination website real quick. Go to the pages section, click on view. And as you can see, the post is now changed. There is one more cool thing which happens with two-way sync. So let's say I created a new page on the production side, right? Somebody is working on the production side. I added, excuse me, let's close this off. So let's add page 1 on, so this is a page added on the production side. And this is where the two-way sync really shines, because now we have a page 1 which is created on the production side. And let's go back to our staging website. Let's add a page. Let's name it, excuse me, let's name it page 1 as well, right? And this is a page created on staging website. Let's publish it. Go back to the dashboard. Click on the red dot icon again. And here you will see that there are two page created events. I don't know why WordPress does that, but it creates two events. So let's sync them. You can actually selectively sync an individual event if you wanted to. So if you select individual events, you can delete them, or you can selectively sync individual events. So let's click on sync all. You can enter a message or you can leave it. It's up to you. Click on sync. And if demo gods are happy with us, we will see that on the production side, this page is not overridden, right? This is a general problem with all the merge processes, because whatever is done on staging should not affect anything on production unless and until you want to. So let's click on that. Looks like our event is not completed. All right, so it has so it has changed the main page, which it should not have. I will get that checked. I think we are using the same slug. That's the reason why page one was changed. So let's try. It actually doesn't it actually don't it doesn't rely on page ID. It relies on the slug. So we should have used a different slug. So if I choose to create another page, let's say page two, this is a new page, and this should not affect. And before that, let me add a new page here on the production, and let's call it production page two, right? So the slugs are not same. So let's go back, and there are now page one and production page two. On the staging side, let's click on publish and click on red dot again. And let's click on sync all again. All right, so it should work this time. Praying to all the gods. Click on pages. Yep, as you can see, page two is now created. It is not overwriting existing production page two. So this is a classic Vikas kind of event where I just choose to on purpose fail the entire demo because of the choice I made. So as I said, it works on slugs. It doesn't work on page IDs, which has been a problem with all the merge kind of plugins in past, and we have gone around that. So if you click on page two, and this is a page two on the production side with the same contents on the staging side. Now, if I make any change to the page two on staging, those changes should be reflected again to the same page. So this is a new change, and I'm making these on the staging website and going to the red dot again. And there is only one page modified event. Click on sync. Click on sync again. And this should modify the existing page because it checks for the same slug. And now that we have synced for the first time, it also keeps a track of internal IDs instead of the PIDs. So it doesn't make mistake again. So let's click on view, and this is a new change, which is synced from. So this really helps when multiple people are working on the production side. At the same time, you are making some changes on the staging website, right? So this really, really helps with your workflow. We get a lot of question, how does it work when the production site has a WooCommerce plugin or a dynamic data, right, which changes with time? So let's take a demo of that. Let's look at a demo of that. So yeah, this is our new this is our existing production site, which has everything: WooCommerce, Elementor, and everything, right? And I've already created staging site prior to this call, which is the tortoise site. So let me just auto log into that. I hope I am able to convey all the message. So the staging site is exact replica of our production site. So this is our production site. This is the staging site. So the last tab is staging. We have a roadmap item where we will show that this is the staging site with some color and something. So we have that already. I know this is a little bit confusing right now, but it will happen very soon. So let's go ahead and do the same exercise here. Instead, let's actually change some content on the home page. So and this time I'm going to show something on Elementor. So let's go ahead and maybe add an icon box on top of the home page. right? And let's click on update. Uh, let's make a change again, so that it actually registers a change. Go back, click on red dotted icon as we always do. And on the sync page, you will see that there is a new event on the home page which is modified. So let's click on sync all. And this time we are going to send event to the production side. But we are not going to sync it right now. What we are going to do is going to the production site, and we are going to the shop page. We are going to make an order. So as if the website is now completely dynamic, right? So production side is working on its own, and the staging side is working on its own. There is no connection right now, and there is no disturbance between the two sides. So let's click on proceed to checkout, and this is our office address. Let's place an order. Okay, so there are no payments methods available. So let's add a basic payment method real quick. I think we can enable cash on delivery. Let's refresh this. Yep, place an order. All right, so the order has been placed and I am on the production side. If I go to the orders tab, you will see that there is a new order from myself. But let's cancel this again. If I go to the staging side, there is no orders because it was not created by the time when we created the staging website. All right, so there are no orders here, which is fine, right? But we made a new change on the staging side, so that's important. So let's sync this change, and it should go to the production side without affecting WooCommerce orders. And this is a huge game changer when it comes to managing a website or staging a website which has dynamic data on it. Now you can confidently sync changes from staging to production without worry of messing anything. So right now, if I click on pages, you will see that the home page should have our new change. The home page doesn't have our new change. Let's do that again. Maybe I did not do it properly. So let's change something here. New heading. Two-way sync is still under beta, so we are still ironing out some of the last bugs, but this should work. And I expect it to come out of beta, I think, in a week or two. We are just on the final stages of our overall adoption of the feature. So let's go back to production side, refresh it. All right, so this is the change which we have, right? And at the same time, if you look at the orders tab, there is no change to the orders tab, right? It's still the same. And that's how you do two-way sync between staging and production. And you can also do the same vice versa, right? So if you see, there are a lot of changes which I have made on production, and you can sync all of these back to staging if you wanted to. And we are coming up with full WooCommerce support by next Wednesday, which will allow you to sync all the new orders from the live website to staging as well. So the staging is always updated with new data. So I hope this was useful to you. Let's go back to our presentation. Let's go ahead and finish the presentation real quickly. And you should have a look at the local WP support which we added yesterday. It's on our YouTube channel. It's a very basic CLI based command which you can run. It will upload your entire local WP to InstaWP. It works really, really well. So two-way sync, you make sure the switch on to switch on the recording. You can sync from staging to live or vice versa. WooCommerce full support is on the way, as I said. And sync quota. So sync quota is how many events you can sync per plan. So I think I have covered that, and we have already covered the demo. So let's look at the pricing for these features, specifically for these features which I've covered. So number of staging sites, you might also already know this. Some of you are already on our paid plan. So for starter, for personal, for pro and agency, we have 5, 10, 20, 50 sites. We are going to limit number of migrations and staging you can do. So using the same plugin, you can do migration from Insta to anywhere in the world, right? So that is another webinar. I think will be covering in 2 weeks from now. But you can go ahead to the dashboard, click on an Insta site, click on the three-dotted menu, click on Migrate V3, and then supply the URL of your target website, and it will migrate the website over. So number of migrations per month and or stagings per month is limited to this amount. And number of events which you can create. So every time you make a change, that is counted as a new event. So if you modified a page 10 times or you created 10 pages, then it will be counted as 10 events, right? And we have good enough quota on personal and pro and agency plan. You can, as always, you can buy add-ons on all of these, right? So you can start with a smaller plan, and then instead of upgrading to a higher plan, you can actually buy add-ons. So roadmap, we are going to bring pushback changes, which is full migration. So if you have a live to staging copy, right now you're doing two-way sync between the two, right? But it doesn't sync file changes. It doesn't do like a full replacement of the live website. We are going to bring that. Migration from any service to any service. So from any hosting provider to any hosting provider, we are bringing the migration. We are bringing a lot of advanced connect features. We are bringing multi-site support very soon. So you can carve out a single site from a multi-site, becomes like an individual website on Insta. And then you can migrate them over to any other hosting company. Support for WooCommerce and other popular plugins and themes are coming in two-way sync. So two-way sync is very unique, right? We have added support for entire core features, but adding support for individual plugins is going to take time. We'll be supporting popular plugins one by one. Right now, we support all the page builders. WooCommerce support is being added, and we have already tested with ACF. So all the other plugins which are popular in themes, if they are special, if they are not using CPTs, custom post type, we will need to add their support, and that will happen over time. So this is the gift which I promised you. So you can use this coupon code to get 20% lifetime discount year on year on all our yearly plans. So the code is webinar 11 Jan. Today is 11 in India at least. So you can use this code. The next webinar is going to happen next week. So I'm going to do weekly webinars every Thursday at the same time. If we get enough votes, we can change the time for maybe early on. But for now, this is what it is. And you can go to our instawp.com/webinars to subscribe to all the upcoming webinars. We are going to invite a lot of interesting guests as well. And then you can learn from them too. So let's go back to our stream. Stop sharing real quickly. And I think we have a lot of comments. So let's look at first comment from John. Once the staging site is created, is it possible to change the theme it is assigned to? Changing theme in general is coming. So you will be able to switch theme for a staging site very, very soon. It's very easy to do. We have just not released it yet. If this is a very top ask, we can expedite it. So go to our Frill account. I will leave the link in the comment section here, and you can add that as a requirement or as a request. So let's go to the next question. We are using Cloudflare WAF and have a complex set of firewall rules. Do you have open or change the WAF rules to allow this to work? Cloudflare WAF generally works, but if it is a large site and depending upon how you have set up the rules, it may block it. So contact our support, and then we should be able to help it. One more question which is interesting from Larry is, excuse me. So let me handle the questions, Abhishek, please. So why create a staging site on Insta when Cloudways has a staging site? And a lot of companies actually provide staging service. There are multiple reasons why you will use InstaWP. One is that we have a ton of options when you create a staging site. You can exclude, include, whatever you want. And then we obviously have two-way sync. One crazy option, which I did not show you, is, let me just share my screen once again, real quickly, which you find really, really interesting, is this. If you go to the Connects tab and the connected site appears, do not create staging with us if you don't want to, because your hosting provider supports it already. Then you connect your staging site as well. So the staging site will show up as another line item below this. So let's say your productionsite.com and the staging of that productionsite.com both show up here. Then click on the staging sites tab on your live site and click on link staging site. So right now there is no site shown here up here, but if you have linked any other staging site, it will show up here, and then you click it. So both your staging and production will be linked together as if we have created the staging site. And now you can two-way sync between them. So that gives you one more reason to use InstaWP. Hope that helped. So going to stop my sharing. All right, so let's go to the question posted by Gabriel. So, is the media called from production site and does it appear on the staging site? So, when you skip media, then it is obviously we create a symbolic link from staging to production. So, every time you load your staging site, your media is actually loading from the production side. But if you choose not to skip the media, then obviously it loads internally. There is no issues with page builders. We have checked with several page builders. It works really well. Thank you, Philip. Thank you, Jesse. What is you were at or edit WooCommerce product in staging? Will changes be published? Yes. So as I said, full support of WooCommerce is coming next week. You will be able to sync product which is added on the staging to live. Would the order be synced to staging as well in case you want to? Yes, as I said, it can be very well. In that example, you just updated a post. The problem will occur if you are creating new post in staging. For example, what happens if you test a new plugin in staging, which requires you to test by placing orders in staging? So, as I said, you can choose to ignore events. You can choose to delete events as well. So you don't need to sync everything. I hope I understood your question, Paul. Sorry about that if I didn't. Could you review the price policy by lowering a little, especially the agency pack? Thanks, Mohammed, for the feedback. We will definitely take a look at it. One more, and you can use the coupon code which I shared. Only one more step to fully replace Blog Vault or any other backup component. Any plan to push? Backup is a very serious thing to think about right now, Philip. But it is on our future roadmap, because once we perfect the staging, this is just another staging site, right? A backup is just another staging site. This is huge. So on the staging side, we are able to make any changes and push that without. Yes, that is what I exactly showed Tamas, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Can existing customers use this code to upgrade? Yes. So if you are on a lower plan, you can use it to upgrade, and new customers can use the same code. But if you want to move, I will tell you a hack though. If you want to move from personal to personal yearly, that will consider as an upgrade. So Jeff, you can use that hack. Adding a 5 package for it that have more than 50 sites. All right, Mohammed, I will take that feedback. Yes, the recording will be available. Let me quickly go through the questions. So Shafira asks, thank you, so far awesome. When we want to sync from staging to live, would it be better to switch on maintenance mode if we use plugins that aren't covered yet? For example, Gravity Forms. Hence, no entries will be lost during the transition. There is no need to switch on maintenance mode. That is the whole point of having two-way sync. But if you want to be just like doubly sure that nothing goes wrong, then you can do that. Just upgraded to agency. Oh, nice. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it. Philip, thank you. Thank you, Jeff. I agree. It provides a lot of value for the price which we offer this. And I appreciate everybody. I don't think we have any more questions. If you have any other requests for webinars, please send that to me, or you can just reach out to our live support anytime, and we will start to cover that webinar, because this is going to be a weekly webinar. So I will have a lot of time to cover a lot of topics. I hope this was useful to everybody. If you get any issues with two-way sync, reach out to me personally at vikas@instawp.com. And we do have a Discord community where you can chat with us anytime during the day. So, and the Discord link is at the bottom of our website. You can join that. So Christine asks, what is the code? So let me just type it, webinar 11 Jan. So that is the code. It only works with all our yearly plans. Yeah, Mohammed. So you can use the same code, which I just shared with you. The code is available for the next 10 days. So you can upgrade within the next week or so. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, everybody, for being online. Really appreciate it. And whoever is feeling the cold, I'm with you. May the force be upon you. And thanks again for tuning in. Bye bye. Have a great day, great night, great evening ahead. Bye bye.